Can you hear me okay? Good. Namaste. How do you pronounce your name? Is it Bahare? So you just muted yourself now?
Oh, okay. Now?
Yes, yes.
Yes, Bahare.
Bahare.
Yeah, perfect.
Well, welcome, welcome. Lovely to see you, Amber. Lovely to see you, Gopal. We got Stacy on YouTube, Anna on YouTube, and Bahare is now with us. So I'm happy to have you with me. Namaste. Welcome to the Advaita channel. Om Satguru Sri Mujiji Ki Jai. Om Satguru Anantaji Ki J. So I'm reading from, if you haven't joined before, had a little break because I had some technical issues. Now broadcasting from this beautiful piece of machinery, and hopefully it's all going to work well. So if there's any problems, if you can't hear me, just sometimes it's because I speak quite quietly, so if you can't hear, then just message me and I'll try and speak up. So reading from Presence, The Art of Peace and Happiness, Volume 1 by Rupert Spira. And it's an exploration of the truth of what we are, ourself as aware presence. And the synopsis on the back I'll read out just to give you a bit of an insight if you're maybe joining this via recording at a later stage and this might be new to you. So, our self-aware presence knows no resistance to any appearance, and as such is happiness itself. Like the empty space of a room, it cannot be disturbed, and is therefore peace itself. Like this page, it is intimately one with whatever appears on it, and is thus love itself. And like water that is not affected by the shape of a wave, it is pure freedom. Causeless joy, imperturbable peace, love that knows no opposite, and freedom at the heart of all experience. This is our ever-present nature under all circumstances. So I'll read a section usually, and then there'll be some silence, and maybe some sharing from if there feels to be any here. Sometimes there might not be. So if there isn't, then there's no expectation that anyone has to say or share anything. There's no pressure on anyone. But also, if you feel like there's something that genuinely feels to be expressed, then by all means unmute your mic and share. It's it's an opportunity for Sangha to share from the heart. The eternal and infinite nature of our being. The experiential understanding that our self-aware presence is without limits or location is not a special kind of knowledge that needs training or education. It is obvious, intimate, and well known to everyone, prior to anything that the mind may or may not know. It is an experiential knowledge that is independent of how intelligent or otherwise the mind may be, or of how old or young, well or sick the body may be. In fact, before we know anything else, before our self seems to know anything other than itself, such as a mind, body, or world, we know our own being, and no subsequent knowledge of the mind can bring us closer to this experiential knowing, or indeed further away from it. It is thought which is later substantiated at the level of the body with feelings that seems to veil this experiential understanding or to take us away from it. Most of us have invested thought with such a degree of importance and truth that this simple knowing of our being is deemed insignificant. However, we see clearly that, without reference to thought or memory, there is no knowledge of ourself having a limit, contour, shape, border, dimension, colour, age, history, future, past, destiny, weight, nationality, or gender. Only an object such as a thought, feeling, image, sensation, memory, or perception could have such attributes. You, aware presence, are aware of these qualities, but do not yourself possess such qualities. Only an objective quality could limit anything, and ourself, being without such qualities, is inherently without any such limit. For this reason our self is said to be infinite. Our culture, which has lost touch with this deeper understanding of our true identity, tends to think that infinite means indefinitely extended in space, whereas in fact it means without any finite, observable qualities or dimensions, and therefore not located within 3 dimensions of space. So I just want to read that again. Only an objective quality could limit anything, and our self, being without such qualities, is inherently without any such limit. For this reason, our self is said to be infinite. Our culture, which has lost touch with this deeper understanding of our true identity, tends to think that infinite means indefinitely extended in space, whereas in fact it means without any finite, observable qualities or dimensions, and therefore not located within 3 dimensions of space. So one of the pointers that that allowed this discovery really of the experience that awareness is infinite. It doesn't have any objective limits. Was the question, can you find an edge to awareness? Actually look and experience. Do you ever come to the edge? Do you find a specific line, a contour, where awareness ceases and the world begins? and just allow these questions to not remain a clever mental rhetorical question, but to actually bring you to that experience. Of course, there can be no edge to awareness, because if there was an edge, that would be observed within awareness. So it's awareness experience of itself. That there is no observable qualities, there's no edge. Of course, the conventional view is that awareness is in here, housed within a body. Which somehow registers an outside world. That is apparently a perfect reflection of how things are. So an inside self in here, and an outside world out there. And that's the conventional view that's never questioned. Everyone just takes for granted. So this is a very beautiful exploration, really, of finding out what's really here when we leave aside these assumptions. And look for ourselves as to what this experience of being aware is actually like, without those assumed mental constructs and conventions. And I guess there's a a sense for some that if I realise myself as infinite awareness, that perhaps maybe these appearances should not be. But appearances still appear. But the feeling of oneself as this awareness remains throughout all appearances. There isn't this sense that you could ever lose that. What is there to lose? For any appearance or experience to be, for any of that to be, requires this knowing. And actually the appearance is only this knowing that is given a label. So it's not necessary to reject experience. Even in the sense of struggle, I struggle with my mind. It's illumined by this. It is this empty knowingness. I know Rupert says, try and touch the stuff that this knowing is made of. Try and touch awareness. Do you find anything? It's our experience of what we call the world is hearing, seeing, sensing. And so if we just stay with for example, the experience of hearing, not necessarily have to go with the belief that the hearing is produced by some external sound, but we just stay with the experience of hearing. And we can ask ourselves, what is there to that hearing other than the knowing of it? Do we find two things? Do we find one, hearing, and two, the knowing of hearing? If we actually look in experience, or is it just the one thing, knowing? That is apparently two things, because of the way we have been conditioned to think that there is a me in here, that is hearing, experiencing an object, a source out there. Hello, Anna.
Hi.
B? Likewise, notice that our self is always present, not always present in time, but ever present now. Without reference to thought, we have no knowledge of time. Time is the duration between two events, and although we may imagine two events, we never actually experience them simultaneously. For instance, when breakfast this morning is present, breakfast yesterday morning is not. The 24 hours that separate these two events are made out of thought, not out of experience. In other words, in the intimacy of our own being, which is prior to thought, there is no time. In fact, our self is not prior to thought. Without thought, there is no time present during which our self could exist. Even with thought there is no time present, but in this case at least the illusion of time is present. To exist means to stand out from the Latin ex, meaning from or out of. For something to exist in time, time must first be present for that thing to exist in, as the space of a room must first be present, relatively speaking, in order for objects to appear in it. However, we have no experience of anything prior to ourself. Something would have to be present to have such an experience, and that something would have to be both present and aware. In other words, it would be ourself. In our actual experience, there is nothing prior to ourself. Ourself is ever present now, and we do not experience a succession of nows. This present now is the only now there is. The now in which the body was born is the very same now in which these words are appearing. It is the only now there ever truly is. For this reason our own being is said to be eternal. This doesn't mean that we last forever in time. It indicates that we are ever present now. There is simply no time ever actually present in our experience in which our self could exist, other than this present now. Our self did not appear at a particular time, and will not disappear at a particular time. There is no time present in our actual experience in which something could appear or disappear. There is just this ever-present now, and this now is not a moment in time. It is timeless awareness, our true nature. Our culture has lost this knowledge and therefore equates the eternal with the everlasting. However, these two belong to completely different realms, one real and one imaginary. Everlasting is related to time and denotes something that supposedly lasts forever. Eternal is related to the timeless and denotes that which is ever present now. It is not about life everlasting. It is about eternal life. Ultimately, no word can accurately describe ourself, because words can only describe objective qualities. However, if words truly come from the experiential understanding of our essential nature, they somehow have the power within them to indicate and evoke it. In the end, all words should be forgotten, leaving only the experience to which they refer, the eternally present and unlimited nature of our essential being. In the end, all words should be forgotten, leaving only the experience to which they refer, the eternally present and unlimited nature of our essential being. So I guess that's the power of a question, of inquiry. That leaves you with the experience. Bahare just shared with us a beautiful song which ends with a prayer by Muji. Should we play that at the end, Bahare? Should we play this song at the end? Thank you. Hopefully it'll work. Any time would be perfect. That means now, doesn't it? That means now. I'll take your instruction and I'll play it. Can you hear this? So you couldn't hear the song? Oh. I'm playing it via YouTube. I'm not quite sure why you can't hear it or how I would play it through the broadcast. Sorry. How about you, Liv? Do you? No idea. Okay.
Shall I try it here, David?
Yes,
Maybe.
yes, yeah, please,
I'm,
please.
I'm also not sure if it would work this
Yeah,
way.
you try, you try.
Hear it? No? Okay.
I'm wondering if maybe it can be done through another device, like a mobile phone or something, and then it would be like how we don't
Yeah.
talking. Because
Okay.
I think maybe this kind of supports the whole thing. That if you use an external device, I'm wondering if that could possibly work.
Sorry.
You were muted.
Do you hear?
Mm,
Okay.
David, we can all get the link. Like we all can all open it in YouTube, and
Yeah.
then somebody counts to 3, and we all click play, and we can all listen. And
Okay, let's do that. So bring up the link and we'll all listen to it together. It's a very beautiful song, and I'm glad you asked to share it. So, have you all got the link up?
it's
Okay.
the link in the chat, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, after I'll count from 3 downwards. 3, 2, 1, and then we press play. Okay. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Om Sakura Shri Muchijiki J. That's very beautiful. Thank you for sharing, Bahare. Maybe I can get the technical side of things resolved. Someone can show me how you can play. I don't know if anyone heard it on YouTube. I'll check. Stacy says that we have to take out our headphones, but I don't think any of you heard. When I did that, so I'll seek some advice, because in satsang, in Ananta satsangs in the morning, they play songs before satsang starts, so there's obviously something that I'm not getting, so I don't think there's anything more to be said, really. It's a very beautiful way of finishing. And sometimes I just feel to rest in this. There isn't really a me resting in this. This is just shining itself. And that isn't just a beautiful way of expressing, but it's actually the felt experience. This shines by itself. Awareness is not a doing, it's not something that I can do. It's not something that I can do better. Or claim some achievement in an A star in non-duality. Awareness is naturally present, naturally aware. Thank you.